I'm David Strawn. I am a consultant and partner with Alpha Omega Construction. And let's start from where we are here. This is 3rd Avenue Goodland. Our mandate for this road is a complete reconstruction and rebuild of this road. So we're excavating 2 feet below the grade level, removing all the organic material and refilling it with marl fill and bringing it back up to paving level. What we're doing, we intend to end up with a 5-meter wide carriageway and a meter of sidewalk wherever possible. Just a bunks up drive over curb, if you will, so that if there's any heavier traffic coming through, they can easily climb on the curb to accommodate the flow of traffic. So that's what we're doing here now. And I really want to emphasize how cooperative the residents of the area have been. Their cooperation is absolutely exemplary. In fact, they are very, very happy that we are here to do this, and they understand the price of progress. So as you can see in the background, we are excavating the road base, as it were. It's a very, very old road, and the road has been a very, very terrible state of disrepair. All I can tell you is when we came here to tell the residents that we were starting, they were full of praise. So yes, it was in a terrible state. There was obviously potholes, the road had deteriorated over time. And one of the problems that this area does have is flooding and the inability of the water to run off. The natural water course that we would have had here before has been impeded because of development in the area. So what we are actually going to do now is put 2 brand new stormwater runoff wells at the strategic points in this road. So all that has been included in the scope. So it was in a terrible state. The residents are very happy. Some have even asked us that we can actually remove their fence to accommodate the sidewalk. I mean, we can't want it any better than that. And they've been actually living with this, and they understand the price of progress. So we're actually excavating that, carrying that away, and bringing in fresh material, which we roll and prepare for new paving. In the meantime, the water services are being lowered to accommodate the new road. Our scope included Eden Lodge Main Road, Surrey Lane, and the Costa Lane. Right now, the progress has been very good in Eden Lodge and Surrey Lane, and we are ready for milling and paving. That's the final aspect of that. Our work was thwarted by the rain event of last week, but we are hoping that the residents will be very happy come the end of this week and the end of next week. What we've gone through, and actually we have either rebuilt or repaired the slipper drain and the upstands at the edges of the road that will actually hold the asphalt together. And we've also done some sidewalks, a lot of sidewalks around that area. And where necessary and where requested, we've actually had to accommodate some elderly people with ramps and so on. So the residents are very, very happy. We are happy that that the administration has seen it fit to accommodate and actually put work like this in the hands of small contractors, small capable contractors. And as I was explaining to the minister, which she actually observed, that a lot of the machinery you see here are also from small private individuals. And so the work is proliferating down, so we have that multiplier effect going through the different communities. So we're really happy about that.
All right, so last year we would have focused heavily on a mill and pave program, which saw over 70 roads being done across the island. The public would probably recall that in that program, we said that there were roads that were not very complex, that didn't require any significant mains replacement, the movement of utility poles, and we were able to get through that program between the January to June period of last year. We then determined that there were a number of roads as well in a number of the residential communities that for a long time had been neglected. And so we started with a program focusing specifically on the St. Michael constituencies. And we have identified about 29 roads, first of all, where we have now about 6 roads completed to date since we started in January. We have about 15 that are ongoing, and another 7 roads that are going to start once those other 15 have been completed. The intention is that there are another 29 roads that we have identified in the rural corridor as well, where we will be looking to have those assessments completed, where you will start to see another aggression of roadworks taking place in residential areas across the rural parishes very shortly. This program initially has had to be done in this particular period because I think Barbadians can appreciate that the intensity of the rainfall over the last few years has caused MTW to really change the way in which it delivers the rehabilitation of our roads across the country. And so we have this year too included a number of other contractors, particularly smaller contractors, to be able to assist us with the smaller roads, while at the same time allowing the larger contractors to do, in some cases, the milling or the paving. And in some cases too, we have the small contractors being able to use different equipment to be able to mill the roads, and then have the large contractors involved in doing the actual paving of the roads across the island. The improvement for the residents, I think, can't be overstated enough. They are happy about the fact that, you know, these long neglected roads finally are seeing some love being brought into their communities. In talking to the residents, a lot of the elderly people are very appreciative of the work that the contractors have been doing to accommodate them getting in and out of their houses. We have seen improvements in terms of drainage. Many of these communities suffer from challenges in relation to flooding. So again, it makes it difficult for people to get out of their houses, whether on foot or in their cars. And the general improvement, I think, is to make Barbadians breathe a little bit easier. We've had a number of years where we didn't have the accelerated roadworks program as we're seeing now, and we are assessing and making sure that we systematically go across the country and ensure that our parishes are covered in terms of being able to prioritize the works that need to be done, but to address systematically all of the complaints and the concerns that residents may have across the country. This particular program really recognizes that in a number of the communities, particularly residential across the country, what we tend to find is that because it's not a main road, it hasn't been given the same priority as would have been given to a highway in previous years. So what we've tried to do is to address the issues of flooding by ensuring that we have the adequate drainage systems implemented, thereby digging wells if they are necessary, making sure that even as the contractors go through and our technical teams, that the water courses are cleared, that the drainage systems are cleared. We also recognize that people require sidewalks, or at least the curbs, to be able to allow in a small access road for vehicles to mount the curb in order to be able to gain access or pull off of the road. And with a lot of these communities, you have elderly people as well who need the type of accommodation works done to gain access into their homes and out of their homes, particularly if they're going to and from the doctor or just walking along the road to the supermarket. So the improvements are many. They're a lot more focused in this program. We've put in a lot of curb and slipper as well to again facilitate and to help with the drainage. So this is a bit more intense. You won't see as many roads being done, but what you will see is significant improvement to those roads and the surrounding areas where this program is now focused. What has also come out of this as well is that there are a number of roads which, based on our assessment, we have recognized will not be able to fit into this program because they are actually going to require full rehabilitation and construction of those roads, which is even more complicated than what you see taking place on this current focus program. So those roads will obviously in some cases have to be designed. In some cases we will have to have more engineering teams on board to be able to direct exactly what will have to be designed for those roads, but we will put those into another program and then seek to execute those in short order as well.
Okay, my name is Leslie. I'm the project manager for Lot 1 Developments, Inc. As a small contractor, we've been in this space for a little bit through the expertise of our managing director. And luckily, we were issued 7 of these small roads. They're just about 100 meters each, but thereabouts. And of those 7 roads, this is one. We've had some challenges here, but we're moving through them. So our progress has been steady. Some of these roads, Park Road in particular, the base material is mud. It's a very dense and deep mud base, and that has been a bit of a challenge for us, but it does change the complexity or the design and our progress as well, profile for the road. Those changes have necessitated deeper excavations, for instance, and a greater communication or collaboration with those services, MPC, Water Authority in particular, where we have had some challenges, some bursts and such like, but in their defense and to their benefit, they have always responded very, very quickly to get those bursts remedied. Yeah. Other than that, I would say our progress has been steady. As a small contractor or a representative of a small contractor, I think using other small contractors allows that those funds, any benefit, to trickle down, to ensure that everybody gets a little piece of the pie. I mean, there's X amount of millions associated or assigned to this project, and when the decision was made to include the small contractors, I mean, largely because the larger contractors just cannot do all of them. It's just not possible. So making that decision, it allows smaller contractors to first of all get their names on the plate. You know, get your name out there as being capable of doing this type of work. But as a small contractor as well, I may not own all of my heavy equipment, so it forces me then, in a good way, to have to engage with other small contractors, with other those who specialize with equipment and such like. So it has been a good thing for all involved. Well, for the residents, we've had a very good experience with our residents. What we've done is try to engage them from day one. We've opened a group chat to communicate with them, to pass information ever so often. So every few days, we would send a communication to them, let them know what we're doing in the next couple of days, and it has been a good thing. It has also allowed for the sharing of good information for persons who have lived in the area for as many years as some of them have been alive. So that information also helped us to pass information on to the engineers, for instance, to design French drains, for instance, which is just a mechanism for draining excess moisture from areas just like this, to establish drainage infrastructure. Yeah. Generally, each road, for the majority of the time, we'll be installing new curbs, in some cases slipper, depending on the way that we're going to drain that road. In some cases, there would be upgrades to the water infrastructure. For instance, this road that we're on, we had half of the main completely reinstalled, because over the years they would have done successive patches, and it was necessary in this case to change the main out completely for at least the half of the road. And we've seen that on multiple roads, in addition to lowering and changing out services to the new poly blue. So things like that have occurred. It should allow for a better aesthetic where the road is concerned, as opposed to just a paved road with the edges that can be destroyed over time and such like. So curbing tends to create a longer lasting carriageway, especially where asphalt is concerned. I'm just thankful to have the opportunity. I'm glad that the works are happening when they're happening. I know the residents are happy. I can't speak for them. It's not in a space that I live, but from my feedback from the same chat that I mentioned before, the residents have communicated that they're quite happy with the fact that the road is happening, and you know, it will just be a better solution for all, you know, on the whole of it. So.